Today, we're going to explore a different kind of wealth. It's not the kind you can store in a vault, but one that's measured in the heart. This is a story about the true currency of compassion. Just pause with that question for a moment. Have you? It's a quiet, kind of unsettling feeling, isn't it? That disconnect between the face in the mirror and the person you feel you've become on the inside. It's a sign, really, a signal that maybe something essential has been lost along the way. And that exact experience is right at the heart of our story today. It's about a merchant who had everything you could possibly imagine, but when he finally faced his own reflection, he saw a complete and total stranger. So this is it. This is the merchant's moment of crisis. On the outside, he looks like the picture of success, right? But that mirror, it reflects a much deeper truth. Not his riches, but the emptiness his cruelty has carved into his own soul. He's a success, and yet he is completely lost. This was the real conflict. You see, Marcus was living under the illusion that his wealth was his identity. But the reality, the deeper psychological truth, was that his relentless chase for more had just chipped away at his connection to his own self. He'd gained a fortune, sure, but he lost his own humanity in the process. And that's the diagnosis, isn't it? It's never the gold that's the problem, it's the greed. It's like a poison that isolates us. It hardens our hearts, and in the end, it makes us strangers even to ourselves. But it's in that really painful moment of recognition that a turning point can emerge. He decides he just can't live like this anymore, like a stranger in his own life. He has to find an antidote to this poison of more. And this is the huge mindset shift. He doesn't just try to feel a little better. He completely changes his definition of what has value. He realizes his gold is totally worthless if it costs him his soul, and he becomes ready to make a totally new kind of trade. This is what he was searching for. See, true wealth isn't about accumulation. It's about circulation. It's a currency of compassion, where the more you give away, the richer you actually become, in your spirit and in your connection to others. So, how do you even begin to invest in this new kind of currency? Well, the story shows us that it doesn't start with some grand, complicated plan. It starts with a single, simple act. His very first transaction with this new currency, it wasn't for profit, it wasn't for personal gain, it was just an act of pure giving. By helping a family that was in need, he wasn't just giving them money. He was giving them a piece of his attention, his time, and his heart. He was choosing connection over isolation. And this is the inner work, right? This is the quiet practice that makes that outer choice possible. To break his old cycle of greed, Marcus had to learn to respond instead of just react. And this technique shows us exactly how. When you're triggered by greed or anger or fear, the very first step is just to pause. Take one breath, do nothing. Then, with a second breath, you observe the feeling. You just notice it without judging it. And finally, with that third breath, in the space you've created, you can choose a different path. You can make a conscious choice for compassion over a knee-jerk reaction. So, what was the return on this new kind of investment? What did Marcus actually discover when he started trading in the currency of compassion? The treasure he found wasn't gold or silver. It was the deep, unshakable joy of human connection. It was that feeling of seeing light come back into someone's eyes because of a choice he made. He learned that real fulfillment isn't found in having, but in giving. And that, right there, is the ultimate lesson. The warmth of compassion, of a genuine connection with another person, that's a light that no amount of gold could ever hope to replicate. It doesn't just light up the world around you, it illuminates the person within you. So we end right where we began, with the mirror. This story leaves us with a quiet question. It's not about what we pile up for ourselves, but about the compassion we share with others. In the end, what kind of reflection do you want to see looking back at you?